Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the newly released Spring Cup and also at Shadow Mawile. And honestly, this is a team that I would recommend you to try out basically immediately when this cup is now going to be out. Like, this cup is out, this is going to be battles while the cup is already out, of course. And this team worked out really well for me. And also, especially Mawile is a really good shot for the current meta. You're going to see it here today as well. I went really positive with it. To be fair, I dropped a little bit of with the last video that I did, where I have another video of the Impossible series. If you haven't seen that one yet, I would really recommend you to check that one out as well. I really hope that this series is something that a lot of people enjoy as well. But yeah, this is going to be here some battles with the Shadow Mawile. And honestly, in the Spring Cup, this Pokemon is absolutely amazing. We're going to have as our say-sop for this team, the Lapras, which is going to be always kind of your say-sop. And in the back, we're going to have the Jellicent, which is a very cool Pokemon and a little bit of a Pokemon that people maybe overlook a bit, because I think it's only like 50 or something on PvPoke. But it's so good against the current top meta. Jellicent, really good Pokemon, really good, can recommend you this Pokemon for sure. The typing itself is just so nice for the current meta, allowing you to completely hardwall Pokemon like Qwilfish, Tentacruel, or the Broguiere and Weezing. I'm actually kind of surprised on kind of the variety that I encountered here from the opponents. There were a lot of Pokemon that I didn't really expect that they would be running, but for example here, already a Shadow Empoleon, I thought this Pokemon would be a bit more rare. Like, I know that there was basically, I think there was like one or two of them actually in here, even more than this one. So, I don't know, it's kind of cool to see like Pokemon like this for sure. As you'll see here, we're going to have the Empoleon going down, we're going to have a Credilli coming in, which is also a Pokemon that I didn't really expect to see with that much play. Like, I have a team with that as well in the top team video, if you haven't seen that one yet. But I was like, assuming that this Pokemon wouldn't be that common, but I think it's actually quite solid, honestly, against this team as well. It is quite a difficult Pokemon to deal with, so I do think that this Pokemon deserves, kind of having that intention here. But as you all see, we're going to have here the Abomasnow coming in. We're going to be able to go for an Ice Beam. Ice Beam is kind of needed in this meta in order to deal with the Ferrothorn on the Lapras. So, like, I would really recommend you to have a Lapras with Ice Beam in this meta. I don't think that Scalbish really helps you out that much. Here, I'm going to try to catch the move, which does not work out, but we're still going to be able to do some damage here. And as we will see, Energy Ball is coming through. We're going to be able to get the KO, and we're going to be able to go for the full farm down here, as we can now move on to the next opponent. Next up, we're going to have here the Marshtomp against us, and this is a thing that very great catch from the opponent, but this is the thing that I do think is going to be happening throughout the meta. I do think there's going to be a shift towards Mud Boys, and that is something that Mawile most I won't appreciate as much. And this is something where I would recommend you to just go for Mawile as soon as you can, because I think it is great in the current meta. I do think it's an amazing Pokemon, like one of the best Pokemon that you can currently run. But I feel like as soon as like the Mud Boy is going to take over, which I feel like is going to eventually happen, because there are quite a lot of Poison-type Pokemon, quite a lot of Steel-type Pokemon. Of course, there's Ferrothorn, there's going to be some Grass-type Pokemon, which is all going to be a bit of an issue. But yeah, I do think that those Mud Boys are going to take over, and this is going to be something that is going to be not as ideal for the Mawile. As you see as well, the opponent has a Cherrim, which is kind of an interesting Pokemon, which has access to Weather Ball Fire, which is going to be super effective against Pokemon like the Mawile, for example, but also Dazzling Beam. It's actually a cool, interesting Pokemon. I'm maybe gonna take a look at this one as well. But yeah, basically, if Mudboy is coming like a bit more like popular as well again, I guess we would see also more Grass-type Pokemon or to counter that. So maybe it's going to be something where Mawile then it can shine. But it's going to be an interesting Pokemon throughout the meta. It's going to be 2 weeks of this meta here as well, where there are going to be shifts. There are going to be certain teams are going to be super popular, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see on how this is going to go. Here we're sadly going to lose against the Marshtomp, because Mud Boys can be a bit of a struggle there. Fine to see, by the way, that Marshtomp with Sludge is like more viable. This Pokemon actually learned Sludge already before and got buffed, but of course when Swampert got Sludge as well, that was kind of not really the Pokemon that people would use. Here I was able to A, realign, and B, get the shield, so like that was kind of an interesting play from the opponent, to be fair. But they swap onto the Clefgear, which actually gives them a good matchup here, forcing me to swap out into my Lapras, where at least we're going to be able to take neutral damage from fast and charge moves. They can go for a Poliwrath, which is doing some sort of damage, and they're going to reveal that they're going to have the Ferrothorn in the back. And again, this is why you want to have Ice Beam on this Pokemon. This is why you need Ice Beam on the Lapras. We will be able to do some nice damage here, and we can let the move go shielded. Because we need to hit another Ice Beam here. We have to really hit another Ice Beam. It's time to use another shield here actually as well. Well, I didn't think that they would go straight for the move there. But we can go for the Ice Beam now. This is going to allow us to either get the KO or get the shield. But we're going to get neither of them actually. They're going to still survive with just a few HP left. I can go for another charge move here. They're still going to let everything go through. And now it's down to the Jellicent to win this battle. Can Jellicent do it? Can Jellicent push through the opponent? Let's see how this is going to go, as we will see here the Foul Play connect. And I'm very much curious on how much it's going to do here against our Jellicent. Still quite a lot, but we're going to be able to get the KO here. Now it's down to Ferrothorn. Can we farm them down in time? Let's find out. Yes, we can. We still have the Lapras in the back, and with that, we win the battle. And as I said before, Empoleon was surprisingly common. I saw one with Metal Claw, and this one has Steel Wing. Steel Wing does more damage, Metal Claw does generate more energy. I could see both being solid. I don't know which one is actually better here right now. I know that PvPoke recommends the Metal Claw moveset. Not too sure if it's going to be better. Anyway, let's take a look here. We're going to see the Gillespie coming in. And we're going to be able to catch the move here. This is the cool thing about Jellicent as well. If you face a Gillespie, all the charge moves are going to be resisted. The issue for this team as well is going to be, though, electric type Pokemon, and so Dedenne actually going to be an interesting one. I'm not too sure about Discharge on Dedenne, but also, do you need Poliwrath on it? Can you just run Parabolic Charge and Discharge, going for a full electric type moveset? I could see this actually working out quite well in the Spring Cup. Dedenne, I don't know, do you really need Poliwrath? I'm not too sure about it. But Dedenne is an interesting Pokemon, especially with Parabolic Charge, because it's kind of a unique move. I am not too sold of Discharge, by the way. I think Discharge is not really a great move, but I don't know. Both of them kind of make a lot of sense to have maybe even together. But now it's going to be down to Gillespie against the Lapras. I think we survive a hit here still. I do think we still survive. Yeah, we still survive a hit there for sure. Then we're going to be able to go for the charge move. Sparkling Area is going to come through here. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down. And in the back, they're still going to be able to win the battle here. This was kind of unfortunate, but we can move on to the next opponent. Actually, this is the third Empoleon now. We are a total of 6 battles and we encountered 3 Empoleons. What? Like, that is so spicy. I love it though. Like, I did not expect that I would see that many of them. Empoleon, by the way, have a lot of play though in this matter. Like, it's not that this Pokemon is bad at all. It's maybe something that I want to take a look at as well. But yeah, Empoleon is not really the Pokemon that you would like think of immediately, at least for this matter. But really cool to see it that often. You're also going to see here the Amoonguss, which got buffed this season as well, with Foul Play being cheaper, which is kind of cool for it. And as you all see here, we are going to let the move go through. Grassland is going to connect, as that's going to be enough to knock us out, but we can still go for another charge move here, which is going to be great. As the Sparkling Area is going to hit him, getting them a little bit lower for us to fully farm them down with Fire Fang. But we are forced to invest a shield here. Foul Play would still survive. They go for the Grassland, and we definitely would have not survived that one. And now it's down to Tentacruel against Jellicent. Can we win this battle? That is a good question here. As Spray is going to hit here, they don't really do a lot of damage, and I'm kind of feeling quite comfortable that we should be kind of fine just getting to 2 Shadow Balls. They actually called the Shadow Ball here and use a shield, but I still think I'm going to be able to get to another one in time. And as we will see, they decide to go for the Scald, do a ton of damage thanks to the debuff, but luckily we just barely survive here, still get off a Shadow Ball. This is going to work out really well, as we can now go for the Poliwrath, knocking them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Mawile against Weezing. That is going to be an interesting one here, as we have 2 great answers against this Pokemon in the back. And what we're going to do here is we're going to stay in for a little bit, and we kind of want to swap out, but this is only a sludge, I think. I don't think they would have had enough energy for even the overheat. I completely forgot that Mawile got actually buffed last season with Fire Fang, now generating energy faster, which is absolutely massive for this Pokemon. Makes it so much better than just like basically like, I don't know, like some kind of substitute Pokemon there for a lot of teams. So like, I do think it's a great Pokemon to run currently, and thanks to the recent buff onto it, it's just so much better now. Anyway, we're going to see here the Dynamic Punch from the Poliwrath. Have fun going for the Dynamic Punch against the Jellicent. It feels like we kind of stood still there for a little bit, which is kind of annoying. But we can take a hit here. It's going to be the Icy Wind. And we can try our best here. We can try to go for the Shadow Ball against the opponent. As we will see, there's going to be, the Icy Wind coming through again. dropping our attack, but we have now 100 energy, and this is going to be really cool because this is going to knock them out. I know that I have to swap out anyway here, so I do that because they're going to have two Pokemon in the back that are weak to our Mawile. We can go for the Power Punch here, get a bit of damage in. We're going to use a shield here just in case. I do think it's just a Sludge though, and it is just the Sludge. And as we will see here, this is going to allow us to at least still get a bit of damage onto the Chestnut with the Power Punch, but also just the fast move pressure alone is going to be massive. We can go for another move, which is going to force a shield here where like, oh, they actually let the move go through. So now I do think they are going to be in range now though, where we are going to be able to just go for the farm down with the Hex, and this is going to work out perfectly fine, winning us this battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have the Lostheart. That's going to be fine. We're going to swap out here into the Lapras, trying to catch the move. Hopefully it is going to be the Yorko Jet, which is going to be great because now we're going to have a great matchup here. We can take the hits. Like, it's not going to be difficult at all. And we're going to see here as well that we have a Dugong coming in. Here, of course, it would have been lovely if we would have had the Skullbash, but it's still not worth it. I don't think that Skullbash is worth it at all on this Pokemon. Like, the odd Dugong are going to be there. And yes, this matchup is going to be great for the Dugong, but still, I do think it is the best decision to not go for Skullbash and having Ice Beam instead. As we'll see here, we have the swap now into our Mawile, which you can use a shield against the opponent. Should have most likely maybe went into my other one, into my Jellicent, but I can still go for the Power Punch to boost my own Pokemon there as well, which is going to be great. As you're going to see here, we can go for the full farm down, get up to another Power Punch because we generate energy so much faster now thanks to the Fire Fang buff. In comes Lostheart, and we can do the same joke again, catching the move onto a Water type Pokemon to the point where it doesn't really do any damage at all. And this is so perfect here, as we will see them going for another charge move. We're going to be able to go ahead and go up against a Seeking now, which has a resistant fast move against both of our Pokemon, which is going to be lovely. And we will see here another Shell Ball coming through, going to do a ton of damage against the opponent. This is going to... Oh, actually just going to get the shield. I didn't really expect this. I actually thought they would just let the move go through. But this is going to be even better, I would say, as now we're going to be able to do so much damage against them. We could let the move go through. We do let the move go through. We can try to go for the full farm down here, which does work out, kind of. And I think we're still going to be fine though, as we will see here, the opponent is going to go down and we can move on to the next opponent. Second to last battle, we're going to have a great lead and a great save swap here. They're double weak to fire, and this is the thing as well, a lot of teams are double weak to fire. We're going to be able to, you know, get the fast move in there, getting a little bit more damage onto the opponent. We just use the shield here. Apparently they're really weak to us, so we are going to be able to just go for the full farm down. We have the charge moves stored against the opponent. Let's see what they have in the back here as their final Pokemon. It's going to be another Swampert. It's going to be all those Mud Boys the entire time. But honestly, our team can deal with Mud Boys. It's not the biggest issue. We have two Water type Pokemon in the back. It is not an issue at all. The opponent uses a shield here on the Clefairy, which is quite nice for us, to be fair. As we can now go for the next charge move as well. It's going to be the Sparkling Area. We can go ahead and try to go for our own next Sparkling Area as well. But we decided to let the move go through. I think I still survive. Even on Poliwrath, we do survive. We can still get to try to get the KO here. I'm fairly certain that Swampert is running a very likely basically a moveset that's going to be walled by our Jellicent. A lot of people are just running Sludge, especially in the meta here, where there are a lot of grass type Pokemon. They're running a lot of times Sludge, and that's why they go for the Hydro Cannon spam here, which is fair, but we should be kind of fine because we can even take another hit here from the opponent. It's going to be another Hydro Cannon, but as you see here, Surf are going to be so fastly loaded there as well with the recent Hex buff on Jellicent, making it a top tier meta Pokemon as well. We can go for another Surf. This should be enough to knock them out. And that is going to be basically it for this battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have here Weezing against us. That is going to be again a matchup we kind of want to swap out, eventually trying to most likely catch the move here. It's going to be onto our Lapras, and it's going to be just the Sludge where we do some super effective fast move pressure, and so they swap out into the Ferrothorn, which is absolutely amazing for us, as you're going to be able to just go for the Ice Beam here, get them a little bit low, but also get rid of the hardest answer to our Jellicent, which we're going to need later on in order to counter the opponent's other Pokemon there, the opponent's Weezing. And so I'm actually quite happy about it. We are going to use a shield here though, against the opponent. They could have Flash Cannon, they do have Flash Cannon, it's going to do a lot of damage, and so it's better for me to just use a shield here. They go back into the Weezing, I go for the Poliwrath. This is kind of like not a smart idea there. I should have just went for the Power Punch most likely. But we're going to be able to still get the shield. I'm going to try to catch the move, which works out absolutely perfect. And so we are going to be able to now go ahead and try to go for another serve. But they stay in here. They're going to go for the Sludge again. And they are definitely weak to us. They're going to have a Lapras here. This is also one of the teams that I showcased in the top team video. It's kind of funny. And so we are going to be able to go ahead and let the move go through. It is going to be the Sparkling Area. We can go for another Shadow Ball here. And we are going to be able to get either the KO here or the Final Shield from the opponent. We get the KO, and now it's down to Mawile against the opponent's Weezing, and this is going to be quite an easy battle for us there as well. And this is going to be it now for this video, because we're going to be able to win this one quite easily. We still have a shield left here. And so, this was an interesting one. This is going to be a very cool team here for you to use. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.